Did Osama Bin Laden die for the very first and only time on May 1st, 2011? I had thought he had been dead since at least 2002. When I saw this September 11th, 2002 interview with President Bush, where he implied not once, but twice, that Osama Bin Laden was no longer a factor.
You must be frustrated, maybe angry. After a year, we still don't have Osama Bin Laden.
How do you know that? Look, I don't know whether Osama Bin Laden is dead or alive. I don't know that. He's not leading a lot of parades. And he's not nearly the hero that a lot of people thought he was. This is much bigger than one person anyway. This is...
But have you won the war before you find Osama Bin Laden dead or alive?
If he were dead, there's somebody else to replace him. And we would find that person.
We still don't have Osama Bin Laden.
How do you know that?
But have you won the war before you find Osama Bin Laden dead or alive?
If he were dead, there's somebody else to replace him.
I had also seen this video with the late Aaron Russo, where he implied that the entire war on terror was make-believe.
He's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told him what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened, and I remember he was telling me how how you're gonna see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places, and there's gonna be this war on terror, of which there's no real enemy, and the whole thing is a giant hoax, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh yeah. There's no question. He says, there's going to be war on terror, and he's just laughing. There's no, who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened, and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11, who were able to, can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people into subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do. That's what it's about, and to create this war, this endless war on terror. And that's why and that was the first lie. And the next lie was going into Iraq, to get Saddam Hussein out with his weapons of mass destruction. An endless war on terror without any real enemy. That you can never define a winner.
And did he say that it's going to be perfect because you can't define an enemy? It just goes on
and on? Yeah, because you can't define a winner. There's no one to beat, so it goes on and on forever. And they can do whatever they want. They scare the hell out of the American public. Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. But the truth has to come out. That's why I'm doing this interview. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud, it's a farce. There's a war going on in Iraq because we invaded Iraq. And people over there fighting, But the war on terror, that's a joke, And until we discover what really happened on 9/11 and who was responsible for 9/11, because that's where the war on terror emanates from. That's where it comes from. It was 9/11 that allowed this war on terror to begin. And until we get to the bottom root of 9/11, the truth of 9/11, we'll never know about the war on terror.
In the film Iron Man 3, the Mandarin character was a phony terrorist acting in front of a green screen to advance the agenda of the real villain. I watched TV for 2 hours on the day Osama bin Laden was supposedly killed in hopes of seeing a dead body or some form of evidence. I never saw one. They said they dumped his body in the ocean. The supposed death occurred on May 1st, May 1st is a communist holiday known as May Day. 3 days earlier, on April 27th, Obama released his long-form birth certificate, which instantly was criticized for having numerous Photoshop layers, and it appeared to be an intentionally poor forgery. Once Obama supposedly got Osama 3 days later, the birther legacy began and ended with Donald Trump, and no one ever heard of Sheriff Joe Arpaio and the Cold Case Posse, nor Philip Berg, nor Jerome Corsi, or Larry Sinclair. 10 months later, on March 1st, 2012, Andrew Breitbart died at age 43 of natural causes, the day before he was going to release information about Barack Obama's past. Hardly any questions were asked about his death, and everyone took it as normal that a guy at age 43 would just drop dead. His website, Breitbart.com, would later release Obama's Harvard Law Review bio, where it read that he was born in Kenya and raised in Hawaii. After that information came out, it was poo-pooed and silenced by saying it was a typo and a misprint, and everybody went along with it. Everyone takes it as normal when Michelle Obama said,
Barack has led by example. When we took our trip to Africa and visited his home country in Kenya.
Barack's homeland is Kenya. The college transcripts are still sealed. It was a total non-issue during both the 2008 and 2012 election, and anyone who asked questions were silenced, called birthers, and the courts did not hear any of the cases. If you type in Tim Osman into Google, you will find search results and pictures about Osama Bin Laden and Zbigniew Brzezinski. If you look at the word Obama Biden, it looks like Osama Bin Laden. So here's what we have covered so far. We showed Bush's September 11th, 2002 comments, Aaron Russo's comments about what Nick Rockefeller told him, the Mandarin character in Iron Man 3, the May 1st killing of Osama bin Laden 4 days after the birth certificate was released, which shifted the national discussion, the death of Andrew Breitbart at age 43 of natural causes, the Harvard Law Review bio, and Michelle Obama's comment of Barack's homeland of Kenya. I know, it's all just a coincidence, I'm sure. But my question is the following. If Osama bin Laden has been dead since at least 2002, or never really existed at all, what did May 1st, 2011 actually mean or symbolize then? It's every time I think about it, when I was watching it, I was like, what? Hold on. The dude's been dead, if he even existed. What does this mean? That we just killed a fake dead guy on May 1st. Does it simply mean the war on terror is over? Well, that can't be, because it seems to still be going on. And if Osama bin Laden did exist, do any of you really think his skills were that sophisticated enough to evade detection for 9.5 years? Finally, and this is the reason I made this video, if you think Osama bin Laden was real and died for the first time on May 1st, 2011, while possessing no physical proof at all, then you have to forever give me the lifetime pass for saying that extraterrestrials exist and have visited and seeded our planet and trade technology with our government for experiments on humans.